Yesterday we left Ghost and Coach having an honest conversation about troubled people in their families and about trying to rise above their circumstances by running. Ghost is going to have some serious consequences for his behavior, but it sounds like he has a true friend in Coach. Let's meet up with them on page 157 after the break. The rest of the week was pretty much filled with me being on my best behavior at school. I was straight up acting like that annoying goody-good Maureen Thorne, and then working extra hard at practice, which was much more difficult than usual because running in my regular raggedy sneakers made me feel like my feet had gained weight, like I had obese toes or something. It had been a while since I had practiced in my cut-off shoes, and I think the silver bullets had me spoiled. Not to mention, everybody wanted to know where the silver bullets were, and I kept making ridiculous excuses like letting them rest. And Coach worked us so hard at practice, I was scared I'd ruin them before the race. And then they would something like, "Oh, so you're going to run, right?" Or, "Word, so you're going to get your uniform, right?" But they'd say it under their breath. Yeah, it's not worth talking about. Not worth you risking yours. I'm here, ain't I? Still on the team, right? That's all that matters. So the Raggedy Runners is what I had to run in, and I stuck at it through ladders on Wednesday and Thursday's long run. I, of course, was now a step behind Lou, who was blazing around the track like it was nothing, doing everything he could to secure his spot as the lead sprinter. I mean, we both were sprinters, and Aaron and Mike, but Mike was going to run the 800 and the 400 just because me and Lou were faster than him in the shorter sprint races. And Chris Myers, who ran the 800, his father took him off the team because his grades were slipping. Aaron was going to run the 400. He was the master of it, like seriously could burn anybody. And between me and Lou, one of us was going to run the 200 meter and one of us was going to run the 100 meter. Now, here's the thing. The 200 was a good race, a hard sprint, but it wasn't as, glamorous? No, that's not the word. The 200 just wasn't the main event. The main event was the 100-yard dash. It was what Usain Bolt set the record in. It was the race. Before I got caught and Coach forced me to run in my old sneakers, I had a pretty good chance at snatching that spot from Lou. Don't get me wrong, he was crazy fast and had been running that race pretty much ever since he started running. But over a month of practice, my time was maybe a half second faster than his. But not during the week of slumpy cut-off shoe running, which was definitely the week that counted. But hey, it was only the first race of the season. So I figured I'd take the 200. Honestly, I'd run any of the races Coach would let me and work my butt off and my legs and my feet to earn the chance to run in that race. Finally, Coach made me do exactly what he said I would have to do. Clean out his cab. He came over to my house after school and drove around the block, to the back of the building where the dumpsters were. "Ghost, I'm not going to lie to you," Coach said, popping the trunk. "I don't know what might be in here." I wasn't sure either. The back seat was pretty much clear because that was the part of the car that he rode customers around in every day until I got in the car after practice. Then he put all the stuff in the front seat in the back. So the trash went from the back to the front and the front to the back. Fast food bags, gym bags, paper, shoes, and who knows what else. And then there was the trunk. When he popped it, I looked in there and saw the end of the world. The back seat and the front seat seemed spotless. The trunk was ridiculous. "Coach, this is crazy," I said, staring into what looked like the black abyss. I know, he said, flashing an embarrassed smirk. I sure am glad you did a stupid thing and I have to clean all this up. And I did. I trashed all the fast food bags, some with French fries and half-eaten burgers still in them. I pulled out the duffels. I don't know why Coach needed so many gym bags. Who needs more than one? But there was nothing in them. They were all pretty much empty because all the shoes and stinky shorts and towels took up about half the space of the entire trunk. Dirty socks, headbands, old jerseys from past years with the Defenders. He also had starting blocks, which are big and metal and heavy, shoved in there, and whistles. Whistles everywhere. I opened up the gym bags and I loaded them up with all that crud. When I got to the last one, a yellow and green duffel with the name Otis on it, I unzipped it. Who's Otis? I asked Coach, who was sitting on the hood of the car, flipping through lists of all our run times. Otis is me, he said, not even looking up. Oh, I said, flat. I knew Coach's last name was Brody, and I figured his first name sure wasn't Coach. Nobody is named Coach. Well, that might not be true. My name is Castle, so somebody might actually be named Coach somewhere, but not Chip-Tooth Turtleface. I started loading the bag up with busted pair of cleats that probably would have been better off in the trash when I spied a piece of paper, a crinkled up rectangle in a corner of the duffel. I pulled it out. It was a faded picture of a man, tall and slim like Sonny. Facial hair only around his mouth, but none on his cheeks. He had his hands resting on a little boy who stood in front of him. The kid was cheesing. The man looked away, almost like he was calling for someone. Who's this? I said, bringing the picture around to the front of the car. Coach took it from me and looked at it like it was his long-lost gold medal. His mouth hung open for a few seconds before he finally answered. That's my father. He tapped the picture with his finger, and that's me. He said about the happy little boy, Where'd you find this? In that bag. Coach pulled the photo closer to his face, as if he was studying every detail. Thank you, he said, and right then I got the feeling that being mad at his dad wasn't the only way he felt about him. He was. But I could tell Coach also missed his pops. He loved him. And I could totally relate to that because as happy as I was that my crazy father wasn't around to hurt us no more, whatever he wasn't wasted. He was dope. That was my dad too. And I missed that version of him. Coach gingerly slipped the photo in his back pocket and pulled it right back out. Throw those bags in the trunk. I think you're done, Coach said, climbing into the cab. He took the photo and put it in the dash where the speed numbers are. I tossed all the gym bags full of dirty sports gear in the trunk and slammed it shut. Then I hopped in. Where are we going? You'll see. On the way to the land of You'll See, I teased Coach about the name Otis. Seriously, Otis is the name of old men who smell like cinnamon and barbecue sauce. Shut up, ghost, Coach said, laughing. Otis is the name you give a short, fat dog, not people. Oh, so I'm a dog now. No, I didn't mean it like that. Well, how did you mean it? Oh, I just mean Otis's great-great-great-grandpa's name. I paused, struck by another thought. Are you a mechanic? Because if you're a mechanic, then it's okay. Coach pulled over to the side of the road. You want to get out? I zipped it. And my mouth stayed zipped until we pulled up right in front of, wait for it, Everything Sports. I looked out the window and into the store. Tia was there, leaned against the counter, checking her cell phone. She should be doing some high kicks or some jumping jacks, but no, she was texting. Not an athlete. Do I need to tell you what we're doing here? Coach asked, and the truth is, he didn't. I knew why we had come, why we had to come. I had to come. But it didn't feel good, that's for sure. As a matter of fact, it felt pretty whack. I looked Coach in his eye and shook my head before exhaling a heavy, guilty breath. You ready? He said. Yeah, I'm ready. Coach walked in and I trailed behind him with my head down, nervous and stupid feeling. Welcome to Everything Sports. Tia stopped mid-greeting when she saw me. Oh, it's you. Yes, it's him, Coach said, his car keys clinking as he set them down on the counter. I was still behind him, staring down at the gray carpet. Head up, son. You know my rule, Coach coached. Stand tall at all times. I lifted my face and looked at Tia straight on. I'm sorry, I started, and in that moment I realized sometimes a real apology can go a long way. Just like Shamika's at school. Just like the one I never got from my father. But had he told me he was sorry for what he'd done? Maybe. I don't know. Coach was leaning his ear toward me like Mr. Charles always did, as if he was hard of hearing. I followed up. I'm really, really sorry for stealing the shoes. I didn't mean anything. I made a stupid mistake. Stupid mistake. I mean a stupid mistake, Coach added, way too enthusiastic. It's what I said, Coach. Stupid. Tia's mouth went from a straight line to a little bitty smile. Not a big smile, but definitely not frown, and that was all that mattered. Okay, she said, I forgive you. Coach then handed over his credit card, and as Tia swiped it to pay for the shoes, Coach threw his arm around my neck, put me in a tight headlock, and whispered in my ear, if you ever do this again, I promise I'll make room for you in the trunk. I looked him in the face, in his eyes, not a flinch, just that big chip-tooth smile, and a scary wink. Yikes! Chapter 10. Race day. Saturday. Race day. My first one ever. I got up early, met by the sweet smell of bacon and eggs, neither of which are actually sweet smelling, but you know what I mean. My mother was on the phone with Aunt Sophie, telling her what time she had to be here so that we could all go over to Martin Luther King Park together. I didn't know what was more exciting. The fact that I was going to run my first race on a track team, or the fact that my mother would be there to see it. I had been seeing Lou's mom cheering for every little stupid thing he did in practice. And after I got over how annoying it was, I realized that there was something about it I kind of liked. So my mom being there was major, and Auntie Sophie, because she was the loud one. She was the one who had a bullhorn for a mouth. Don't be late, Sophie, my mom said into the phone, dishing out the eggs. Of course, anytime a person tells another person not to be late, that pretty much guarantees that they will be. I don't know why, but it does. And Auntie Sophie was late. Not late, crazy late, but to the point that I couldn't make it to the track on time. It's just that we don't have a car, and we're going to have to catch the bus to the park. But the bus was supposed to come at 11:15, and Auntie Sophie and King didn't get to the house until 11:09. I was in the bathroom staring at myself in the mirror. Coach had given me my uniform the day before, after humiliating me at the Sports Star. After humiliating myself. But whatever. When we got back to my house, he told me I had earned it, and that he hoped he never had to bail me out like that again. "I won't really put you in the trunk," he said, smirking. "I'll just tell your mother I can cut you from the team. That's way worse." Got me? Coach jangled my jersey and shorts in front of me, and I did get it. I did get him, big time. I made up in my mind that I wouldn't do nothing like that stupid ever again. At least I would try not to, especially judging from the way I felt, holding that electric blue uniform. Coach paid for the silver bullets. But what do you think Ghost is going to have to do to pay back that money? How do you feel about the fact that Ghost is being allowed to run